Good afternoon, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. It is Friday. It's the day after a big victory for the Green Bay Packers, a victory Friday, if you will. Hope you've had the chance to check out Let's Talk Football. The latest iteration with Andy Herman went up on the channel here a little bit ago, a couple hours ago. And I didn't want to miss a Friday chat heading into the weekend. And I didn't want to hold the chat during the Bears-Eagles game. Bit of a snooze fest. Nice to see the Bears can run the ball, but man, that game felt like the Bears controlled the line of scrimmage in both instances. The Eagles' offense still remains about as broken as we saw it back in Lambeau Field a couple weeks ago. But, this sets up a big showdown next Sunday in Lambeau Field, late afternoon game. Cannot wait. For the moment, though, still basking in the glow of the big win over the Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving, a game that I have now watched probably 2 or 3 different times. That was a lot of fun. Just a great time watching the Packers march up and down the field, put on 31 points on the Lions and their fan base who, awfully whiny today. I get there's some calls that went against you. Not like there weren't calls that went against the Packers too. And I also wanted to kind of reiterate something that I talked about with Andy, and I wanted to say it here as well. Looking at Matt LaFleur's approach against the Vikings at home, against a defense that loves to send numbers, pressure, exotics, each and every down almost. And I know there was a lot of grumbling coming out of that game because of LaFleur's conservative approach. And then you spin it forward till Thursday, and there's Matt LaFleur putting that pedal to the metal, going all gas, no brakes, being very aggressive on fourth down, letting his quarterback kind of off the chain, so to speak. I think that's a really good example of a guy who has a great handle on his roster and knows that this team can win in a lot of different ways. It doesn't have to be one set way. That was kind of the case with Aaron Rodgers, and that's not Aaron's fault. That was just kind of how the roster was constructed. It was built for the offense to, put up big numbers and Aaron Rodgers to be the star. And of course, we've seen Jordan Love do some of that. He's certainly coming off a game where he put up some big numbers, 4 touchdowns, great passer rating. But they can also win like they did against the Vikings, just running the ball, buttoning it up, playing good defense. Now, albeit against a struggling young quarterback, but the idea that you have to win one certain way, I think Packers fans have that in their mind so that when a game like the Vikings game comes along, you still hear grumbling, even though they won the ball game, right? And I've already seen people, well, that's the blueprint. That's what they have to do each and every week. I don't think that's true. I really don't. Now, some of it is game script, game flow, what have you, with the context of the game, and if you can build a lead and things like that. But I don't think you have to look much further than some of the contests and how teams have played them to realize that, there's not going to be one set way for this team to win. And it's good. It should be encouraging to fans that they have a coach who is able to embrace a different approach from week to week, depending on what he thinks is necessary to win the game. I'm very excited about the 3-game win streak. Obviously, again, turning it around next Sunday, a week from Sunday in Lambeau Field, that is going to be a big test. This Bears team looks legit. There's no doubt about it. The way they ran over the Eagles, that is a significant data point, concern, call it whatever you want. But especially with the loss of Devontae Wyatt out for the year with a ankle injury that he suffered there in Detroit, going to take a lot of work. Going to take all 11 down in and down out. And it was kind of interesting to see the Eagles really struggle to stop the run. And somewhat Fangio's, let's not call it inability, but maybe stubbornness to really adjust, kept those safeties high for a lot of the game. And the Bears were more than happy to continue running the football, really stuck with it, stayed patient, which is a credit to Ben Johnson. And man, Ben Johnson, Matt LaFleur, there's something a little simmering underneath the surface there with Johnson's shot at LaFleur when he got the job. I'm not saying that's top of mind, but certainly simmering in the background. It's going to be fascinating to see how these 2 head coaches go at it in these next kind of 3 weeks, essentially 2 games in course of 3 weeks. Good stuff, exciting stuff. I can't wait. And I can't wait to talk to all of you Packers fans worldwide, what's going on? Good to see everybody mixing it up. Each and every one of you, thank you so much for hanging out here on Black Friday. And hey, if you are unaware, use promo code Black Friday 15 to get 15% off the Cheesehead, anything, your entire order at the Cheesehead TV store today only. There is a link here on the YouTube page for you to go to the merch store and load up and get 15% off with the promo code Black Friday 15. All right, before I get to your questions and comments, let me give a shout out to our good friends over at ThedaCare. ThedaCare is a proud sponsor of Cheesehead TV. Before the kickoff, huddle up with ThedaCare. With over 60 specialties and care teams across 180 plus locations, ThedaCare is there to keep your whole team in peak condition, from physicals to wellness checks and everything in between. ThedaCare. Make sure you check out the link in the description of this video for more information. All right, folks, what's going on? How we doing? RCS starting us off. How you doing, sir? Grabbed a If You Ain't a Packer fan shirt. Go Pack Go. That was a wise choice. An excellent choice, sir. I believe that's what Corey wore in the video. Very well done. Aaron Harper. Fuck the Bears. Wow, we've skipped from the Bears still suck to fuck the Bears. Wow, that's bold, man. But I respect it. I understand where that passion comes from. Trust me. Steve Anthony. Steve-O, what's going on, man? Cheers, all. You and Andy are always a dynamic duo. Bummed that the Bears won, but seeing Philly fans leave a game early, chef's kiss. Sonoma Pinot Noir for me. What are you enjoying this fine evening? Well, I was glad you asked. I'm actually having a bit of Dale's Pale Ale. But of course, I'm having it in a Carry the G glass, because Carry the G is the official beer of Cheesehead TV.
Well, we carry the G wherever we may be, so creamy and cold, and from the land of the green and gold.
Did I play that video as an excuse to drink the rest of that beer? Maybe. You'll never know. Appreciate you, Steve. Jerome Chop, how are you, man? Toyota-thon is on. That is all. Go Pack Go. Hard to deny when you see Love chucking up a 50-plus yarder to Christian Watson. What a gorgeous play. I've probably watched that a million times. And absolutely fucking hilarious seeing some of the quotes come out of the Lions locker room from the corner who got beat, as if he didn't, essentially maul Christian Watson on another play that didn't get called. Give me a little hand fighting. Now that's obvious OPI. Son, sit down, please. You got burned. Just be a man about it. That's all I ask. Robert Stevens, how are you, sir? Happy Victory Friday. Can we get 1265 Lombardi guy on the show? I hear Corey is a big fan. Hey, I think he does good content. Doubt we'll ever have him on Cheesehead TV. He's doing his own thing. He doesn't need to come on our show. But, yeah, I can put in the request to Corey. We'll see what he says. Rick Harris, how are you, sir? Bears will be smelling their own farts next week. I suspect Ben Johnson will have them ready for this one. I don't think anyone's going to get too carried away in Chicago. He's done a pretty damn good job of keeping things even-keeled. The approach each and every week seems to be very sound. They're competing and executing at a high level. Doesn't feel like a team that will get kind of full of itself and reading too much of their own press clippings. But you never know. We'll see. Perhaps you're right. FMCH, how you doing, man? Got the Bear Down shirt for next Sunday when I watch the game with my good friend who is an ex-Bears wide receiver. Despite that, one of the nicest guys I know. Well, that's cool. You should have got one for him, too. No, I'm kidding. But hey, yes, any bit of Bears Still Suck or Bear Down merchandise you want is available in the Cheesehead TV merch store as we speak. And if you order right now, use promo code Black Friday 15 for 15% off your entire order, and you can probably get it before the game. So now's the day to do it. What else we got here? Joe, how are you, sir? Packers dominate fourth down. Nothing sweeter than beating a rival at their own game. Thought McDuffie set a tone Thursday. I tell you what, I thought he started the game somewhat inconsistently. But going back and watching the tape, I thought he had a hell of a game. I was certainly maybe caught up in one or two plays that I looked at initially live. But, man, yeah, looking at the tape back, I thought he played very well. No doubt about it. And it's going to be interesting to see if Quay is able to go next week, if they maybe utilize a few more 3 linebacker sets, something they did a lot of last year, and they've done some of that this season. But especially against a Bears team that, clearly, look at today, they want to run the football. They're pretty damn good at it. Maybe you add another linebacker body onto the field to try and combat that. Now, I don't think necessarily that Ben Johnson's going to have the same game plan for Jeff Hafley that he had for Vic Fangio. Very different systems, but it's certainly something that gives you at least a little bit of kind of confidence if you're a Packers fan, knowing that McDuffie, not just the great play he had kind of down in and down out against the Vikings, but he carried that over into a really tough environment against a very good offense and did not seem to take a step back at all. Really good stuff. Two games in a row for McDuffie. Patrick, how are you, sir? Hate seeing Bears win, but let's take advantage of what's ahead of us. We technically control our own destiny for the 2 seed now, no? They do, and there are a kind of cascading set of games that if they go a certain way, the Packers could have a path to the 1 seed. But, it's that time of year. I understand people get caught up in the playoff odds, scenarios, what have you. I'm a simple man. I have very simple tastes. All I want is to beat the Bears on Sunday. That's it. I'm cool with everything else happening and people prognosticating or talking about if then what happens. I don't care about any of that. That's just me. I just want to go, well, essentially 2-0 against the Bears. But first, let's go 1-0 against the Bears. Everything else will take care of itself. Everything else that needs to happen, can happen, whatever, will happen. Worrying about it, fretting about it, or even just projecting it, it's not going to change it. It's going to happen. Whether you want it to or not, however it lays out, Packers just have to take care of their own business. And the first order of business is beating the Bears a week from Sunday. Aware, how are you, sir? Are the Bears for real? They will always suck. See, that's what's beautiful. That's what's gorgeous. It's that even if they are for real, and they look for real, no question about it, they still suck. They're the Bears. They will always suck, eternally suck. The Bears still suck forever. The Bears could go on a run, generational run, become perennial contenders and be just this amazing football team. But deep down, they'll still suck. We know this. We're Packers fans. Travis Nelson, what's up? No, it's not Toyota-thon. It's Jordan-thon. Hey, you can talk to the lawyers about that. I personally am not really a big, backer or cheerleader for the whole Toyota-thon brouhaha. I get it, how it got its genesis on TikTok, and someone pointed it out. I said it the other day. It's more about Jordan Love gets better as the season goes on and plays his best ball at the back half of the year. That's the football version, right? You can talk about Toyota-thon or whatever. I don't care. Wear your sweatshirts. It's cute. I don't care about Toyota-thon at all. I care about Jordan Love competing at a high level and playing great ball. And he does that regardless of whatever car dealership promotion is going on. Trust me on that. Mike Witt, how are you, sir? Hey, Nags, Eeyore number 2 here. Sure would have been nice to get some help from Philly today. Oh, well, next week should be fun. Have a great weekend, Nags. Back at you, brother. And yeah, it would have been, it's just because it's nice to watch the Bears lose, right? But ultimately, if the Packers want the best seeding possible in the playoffs, the Bears winning is actually not terrible today. You being the Packers, just have to take care of business against the Bears. And that's great. That's what you want. I don't want to backdoor into anything. I don't want to just get in because of some other team. Obviously you want to get in. That's a big part of it. But, man, Packers just got to do their job. Beat the Bears. Archangel. What a handle. Thanks to the super chat. I'm motivated with a pissed energy against the Bears and Lions. We are not scared of the Bears and no reason to be. We have Micah and 2 receivers coming back. Tell those ass budget Bears to shut it. Wow. Tell me how you really feel. Yeah, look, hey, respect the Bears. They're playing well. They're playing good football. No doubt about it. But the Packers are on a 3-game winning streak and have been playing pretty damn well themselves. And I know, I already hear the naysayers, the Eeyores out there, if you will. Well, the Packers did this wrong or this poorly or whatever. you just watch Caleb Williams throw one of the dumbest interceptions you'll ever see, a predetermined screenplay that he should never have thrown, or at least thrown it higher and arced it a little bit more. But he threw it almost straight to a Bears defender. I'm sorry, an Eagles defender. But, they won the game, so no one will talk about it, and on we go. But, man, every team is dealing with stuff that they got to overcome and improve on and get better at. Bears are no different. Packers are no different. I'm very much looking forward to Bears week and taking on this Bears team. Mike Witt, thanks again, man. Think Reed, Golden, and Savion are back next week? I think Golden, Savion, maybe. Reed, I'm just guessing here. This is total guesswork on my part, but I still think he's a week away. I would be maybe not surprised. I think the odds are long for him to play against the Bears. I would think they would want to give him a full week of practice because don't forget, they didn't have a practice last week. All they did was walk through, right? Because of the fact that they had him hit the practice field on a Friday, their 21-day window expires the Thursday of Broncos week. And I suspect there's a chance they take him right through that. Now, I could say all that, and maybe he's up this week. Maybe he gets activated on next Saturday, and he's ready for the Bears game. It's definitely possible. But as we know, with the Packers being as conservative as they are when bringing guys back and wanting to make sure they're 100% and there's no setbacks and what have you, I would think they would want to get Reed on the practice field a handful of times, probably 3 or 4, prior to activating him and making him part of the roster and putting him out there to play football. These other guys have all been out there and running around, hitting, doing the physical stuff that football entails. Reed hasn't done any of that since, early September? I just guesswork on my part, but I think we're still a week away. But we'll see. Jesse J, how are you, man? The bad CV not wrapping up before halftime. Just kidding. Matt Jordan, great on the 4th. Go Pack Go, 915 Texas. I mean, look, and I talked about this a little bit with Andy. I highly recommend everyone checks it out because I thought Andy made some really good points in this regard. But Valentine, as frustrating as that play is, and it kind of would have changed the complexion of the game, the context of the game, if they are able to at least hold the Lions to 3 there at the end of the first half, but instead they go for the touchdown, etc. Valentine has been excellent, man. He's been exemplary in coverage. He's been very, 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 very good. And for the most part, he's been more physical than he was last year. Yes, he is still a bit of a liability when it comes to the run game and wrapping up and putting guys on the ground, tackling. I understand that. And all you want him to do in that regard is, he's done a great job diagnosing the play. There's a receiver out there meant to block him. He reads the play, completely diagnoses it, shoots into the backfield, tries to go for the big hit, tries to blow him up with his shoulder. Just wrap up, man. Just wrap up and wait for the cavalry, if nothing else. Don't even need to get him on the ground. Just wrap him up. You've done the hard part. You've diagnosed the play. You've exploded into the backfield. You've got it. It's over if you wrap up. That's frustrating. And I'm sure it's something the coaches will harp on this week and continue to work with him on. But, man, for the majority of that game and for the majority of his time that he's been out there, I want to say since the Arizona game, where he's been kind of inserted as the main corner across from Keyshawn Nixon, he's been really damn good. And I hate that this one play has kind of colored the whole perception around Valentine. Certainly disappointing. Not debating that. Very disappointing moment in play. But on balance, his main job, covering the opposition, he's been the best guy out there for the Packers, and he's been damn good. So I just think, I hate that one play might color people's perception of the job Valentine has done for most of the kind of back half of the year so far. Steve-O, what's up, man? Ordering gear now on the website. Cheesehead TV hoodie for me and 2 Bears Down t-shirts for my Sturgeon Bay buddies. We got some fibs up there in Sturgeon Bay? What are you talking about? I love it. I appreciate the support, man. Don't forget, Black Friday 15 to get 15% off your entire order. Mr. JJ, what's up, man? Hey, Nags, is it crazy to say that Enigbari might be playing better than Gary at this point? It is not crazy because it is true. Now, that doesn't mean that Enigbari is, quote, a better player. But right now, I don't think it's a debatable subject. And There can be a litany of reasons. Maybe Gary's dealing with something we don't know about. Maybe he's being asked to do certain things, but the production is certainly noticeable, or lack thereof, when it comes to Rashawn's point. Rashawn is a good to great football player at times, but right now he has pulled a disappearing act for way too long. He has got to step up. There's zero question about that. And after all these questions a couple weeks ago about his lack of playing time, right? So much time spent on the sideline. They've pumped that up. He was out there quite a bit yesterday, and Enigbari made way more use of the time on the field than Gary did. So, no. Yeah, is that unfair? No, I don't think it's unfair, crazy, any of that. Gary needs to play better and be more productive, be more disruptive. And that's just not rushing the passer, though that would be welcome. He also needs to set the edge and make tackles in the run game and be a force in the run game. There's just precious little he's doing right now to affect the opponent. And I'm not saying he's playing poorly or terribly. I don't think that's the case. Just right now, he's a bit of a non-factor. And that's probably more concerning or disappointing than anything else. Because we know he's a better player than that. He absolutely is, and has shown he can be. He needs to get back to doing that. Ingrid with some good words. Good words over here from Ingrid. Nobody is perfect. Everybody is a work in progress. Don't judge anybody on one play or one game. Look at Ingrid out here, spitting facts, knowledge, what have you. Well said, Ingrid. I agree. Mike Witt, thanks again, buddy. I will say this, watching that Bears-Eagles game today, I will take Jordan Love any day over Caleb or Hurts. Both are very average, in my opinion. I mean, I don't think either one of them are average. I think they're really both really good quarterbacks. Now, they're playing in very different systems and being asked to do very different things. Certainly, both of them had some rough moments today. I think you saw Caleb's value at times, both with his legs, but certainly on the touchdown to Cole Kmet. That's a really nice pass. And, roll into his left to kind of flutter it over. I thought it was going to get caught up in the wind, but certainly he made a really nice throw and a judgment of how much he needed to put on it while also getting it over the wash, so to speak. I just think, I love Jordan Love. Don't get me wrong. I think Jordan Love is, of those three, yeah, I'll take Jordan Love. No question about it. But, man, Jalen Hurts is asked to do run a very different style of offense. And Caleb Williams is still, a season and a half into his NFL career? He's got a long way to go before he becomes whatever he's going to become. But, yeah, man, I love Jordan Love. I think he's the best quarterback in the NFC North. I don't think I don't think that's a controversial statement at this point. I'm sure Bears fans would argue, but yeah, I don't really think that's crazy. Oh boy. I just saw someone ask someone, did you watch the game? Oh no. What's going on? What's the here we go. J. Cole, what's up, man? I got to give it to the Bears. They are finding ways to win games. We better be ready next week for that run game. Bears rushed for damn near 300 yards. They did because they were able to stick with it because the Eagles' offense did jack shit for the majority of the game. And that's what, you talk about game script and context of the game flow, what have you. You can't run for 300 yards if you're behind, or even if it's a somewhat back and forth affair. They kind of played what the Panthers played when the Panthers came to Lambeau, right? They played keep away. They kept the Eagles on the sidelines for much of the game. But points come out of the passing game, right? And for the majority of that game, what was it, 10-3 and then 10-9 for a large swath of play? Now, they pulled away at the end, no doubt about it. They made the plays they needed to make. But, man, so much of that game was about kind of the Bears just being able to stick with the run because, Fangio really never wanted to kind of leave his guys out on islands against the Bears wide receivers in the passing game. But when they tried to kind of get to the passing game, the Bears, that is, it was very hit and miss, very inconsistent. And that's why there weren't a ton of points scored until late in the game, when the Eagles had to start pressing the issue. So, yeah, man, it's like, hats off to them. They fucking did it. No doubt about it. You have two backs going over 100 plus yards. First time they've done that, or not. I think it was 125 yards each. First time that's happened for the Chicago since 1985 or something like that. Yeah, it's a good day at the office, no doubt about it. But a large part of that is because of the fact that the Eagles could do jack shit on offense. If the Eagles have a functioning offense that's scoring points, that the whole context of that game changes. Steve Anthony, what's up, man? Leftovers on tap for you. Second plate or mix/bowl? Oh, second plate. Definitely second plate. Mike Witt, thanks again, man. I think our offense can score on the Bears defense. Just my opinion. Thoughts? I very much agree. Very much agree. I think it's going to be fascinating to see how Dennis Allen approaches Matt LaFleur's offense with this collection of talent, right? With the guys he has with the Bears defense, as opposed to what he did when he was with the Saints. Don't forget, Jordan Love's first home start ever. Allen did a nice job of stymieing the offense to the tune of 0 points through 3 quarters. And then Jordan Love has the 17-point explosion in the fourth, and they win the game. But Dennis Allen's really good at his job when it comes to coordinating an NFL defense. And I think his chess match with LaFleur is going to be very fascinating to watch. All of that said, yeah, I like the Packers' chances. I like the idea of being able to stay balanced, much like they did against Detroit. I also think Jordan Love is a little bit more talented than Jalen Hurts when it comes to throwing the football. And I think he'll have opportunities, probably off play action. You saw some of the boot stuff start to open up against Detroit. I think you'll continue to see that against the Bears. But I also think some of this is going to be predicated on what happens with Ben Johnson's versus Jeff Hafley and what the score indicates and what that game flow indicates. Because, man, make no mistake about it, Ben Johnson ate Jeff Hafley's lunch last year in Detroit. Like that, that's not telling tales out of school. That go back and watch those 2 games. Any and every time they got them into third down, Ben Johnson knew exactly what to expect, how to counter it, hit them with so many quick screens, things to take advantage of pressure. And I want to say, yeah, of course. Well, Jeff Hafley now has Micah Parsons, and he's rushing 4, and he's playing coverage, and he knows how to kind of be patient and stick with the coverage aspects of it and keep that shell. Well, it's just great. But as you saw today, Ben Johnson ain't going to have any issues just running the football and getting you out of that shell. And that's when it'll start to get interesting. A lot of great matchups in this game. And by the way, I'll be talking with Matt Bowen next Monday, former Packers safety, now does a lot of media in Chicago covering the Bears. We're going to have a great kind of preview of this matchup on Monday. It's going to go up here on the channel. So make sure you watch for that, because I always love talking to Matt. Always learn a lot when I talk to Bowen about football in general, but definitely about defensive football. No question about it. All right, everybody, I'm going to have to get going. Cannot thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor. Hit like on the video. Subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family, Cheesehead TV. We are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great weekend. I'll be back on Monday. Thanks so much for your support, and go Pack Go.